Let me make sure everything is right because this joint right here is tweaking. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do, y'all? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys
Out
live
from the
from the
NY,
NY.
back with
Back with
another
another
one of
one of
that
that
OD
OD
pod.
pod.
For
For
those
those
that
that
don't
don't
know
know
who
who
I
I
am,
am,
I
I
am
am
him. You
him. You
heard?
heard? Jones, not a Bantu or a Jew, but a El Kebule kidnapped that is ready for the get back. And welcome back to the Redeem or Destroy podcast, where we deal with facts over the beliefs. Let me make sure I get myself right in center, front and center. Hold on. Front and center, where we deal with facts over the beliefs and awakening the minds of the kidnapped worldwide. Why don't applause for that? Yo, first and foremost, shout out to the brother that made this hat. As you can see, we outside with it. We representing it. We standing on it. You heard? This is what it is on this podcast. Um, Let me start off by giving you guys my apologies. I don't know what transpired, maybe because of the weather being bad outside. I don't know, but it really set me back. I was supposed to start since 6:30, and I spent the last 30 minutes trying to put this thing all together. So for those that's watching me on YouTube, shout out to you guys. For those that's tuning in on IG, shout out to you guys, all my people on Rumble. And I was gonna put it up on TikTok, but I feel like TikTok is the reason why all of this transpired. So when I get off air, I'm gonna play with it, pause, and try to figure it out so we can be on everybody's platform. But with that being said, let's have a conversation. Now, this conversation is gonna offend some people. Some people is going to agree. Some people is gonna disagree. Some people is gonna go back into the drawing boards and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And today's topic and discussion is there is no point in 2026 to argue with religious believers. It is pointless. And what I mean by is being pointless, you're literally talking to deaf ears. A lot of these people are condemned, they're condemned into this ideology. A lot of these people was born into this ideology. A lot of these people has been bitten by this ideology. But in the overall aspect, you can't waste your time arguing with people, right? Now, when I say this, some of y'all are gonna get upset, but you gotta hear the facts. Arguing with a religious person is literally like arguing with a 3-year-old and telling him that Santa Claus does not exist. That is how it is when you argue with grown folks who believe a doctrine that they can't prove. Now, I have given brothers and sisters plenty of time, plenty of space for them to show proof that the stories in the Biblos take place. That you, especially for the melanated people that think that they are not religious, they're claiming their identity, right? They're claiming their heritage. I give these brothers and sisters plenty of rooms to show their evidence and proof, to prove to us that they are the people in the book. Now, you cannot use the Biblos to justify who you are when it's the Biblos that is on trial, right? If you claiming to be something genetically, right? That means your evidence has to go hand in hand with genetics. You can't use writings to prove genetics. That is oxymoron. That is beyond berserk, bro. You understand? And a lot of these religious people tend to cleave onto that. They tend to say, I got the blood of Jesus in me, and none of these things are gonna transpire. But it's like, tell me one time that Jesus ever show up when you needed him. Jesus never showed up when your grandmother was sick, grandfather, mother, father, uncle, and even yourself. Some of you guys be so heavily religious, so Jesus-like, but the minute you get sick, the minute there's a pandemic, you don't go cleave on to Jesus. You run to the nearest clinic. So it's little things like that that is literally pointless in arguing and trying to prove that what they're reading is not true. Now, the reason why I'm coming on here right now is for two reasons. A brother came on and said that I came on Instagram and I'm spreading lies. Okay. So since we're spreading lies, let us speak on the facts. Can we speak on the facts? Okay. Facts number one. Can you prove that you are a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? Can you prove that these people ever exist? Can you show any historical events that took place that you can show that exist at this time? Now, some of these dudes would like to use things like the Lot's wife, right? We're going to use that for an example. They will find a stone that is somewhere out in the Middle East, and brothers and sisters will proclaim that to be the image of Lot's wife. But when they do archaeological studies, they don't find no DNA, they don't find no bones, they don't find absolutely nothing to justify such claims. Cool. Let's talk about Jesus. You guys proclaim that Jesus is your Lord and Savior. He came, he died, he risen, etc. But there's absolutely no record of his existence in any Roman text, literature, documentations whatsoever. You're not finding absolutely none. You're not finding writings of his being captured because they document these things. You're not finding him being on trial because they document these things. And you're not even finding when he was executed something that they document. There's no documentations of that. Fine, cool. Let's keep the ball rolling. None of you guys are able to show exactly where did he live, where he went to school, what exact neighborhood where he dwell at, where did he learn, where was the exact location of his birth. Nobody's able to prove that. But everybody's quick to say that Jesus lives, he rise, he did this, he committed miracles. There's not even records of his miracles in any documentation. Greek, Roman, African, Jamaican. There's absolutely no writings. So let's talk about the facts. Where does the story of Jesus originated from? Well, the story of Jesus originated from the Egyptian text. Yes, I said it. The Egyptian text is where the story of Jesus came from. The creation of Jesus happened at the Council of Nicaea when Constantine sat down with all the best scholars in the world, not just Romans, in the world. And he got records for every single ancient dominant power source of their times. He took all their records, he went through them, and out of all of them, you know which one he chose? He chose the Egyptian one. And he said, you know what? I want to create a similar story, and then I want this story to be spread all across the world through the four corners of the earth. And that's what happened. When you read the story of Jesus, it goes side by side with the story of Horus. When you read the Bible, when you finish saying your prayers, you say amen. Amen was Amun Ra, the predecessor between humans that intervened, or should I say, the middleman between humans and God. That was Amun Ra. Okay? The story of a virgin birth, that was Isis. In fact, the Hebrew Israelites also took from the story of Egyptians. That's why you got Isis, Ra, and El. Three deities combined together made one power source. Three deities: Isis, Ra, and El. Christianity: Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Shall I continue? So you take these ideologies, you create your own version, and then not only did you create it, you had to make people be in alliance and acceptance to it. How did that happen? Well, what happened is they went to war. They went to towns, they went to villages, they went to countries, continents, whatever, proclaiming this newfound creation called Christianity, and it was forced upon the people. No matter where you go around the earth, it was forced upon the people with bloodshed. I mean, Jesus did tell you, I come not to bring peace on this earth, I come to bring war and destruction. I'm going to divide husbands from wives, wives from daughters, fathers and sons, etc., etc. That is what happened. Let us continue. Let us continue. Jesus never came to bring love and unity. Love and unity came after he gained control of the world and put things in place to ensure that his power reigns supreme. How do you ensure his power reigns supreme? You got to give them that sit still doctrine, that feel good doctrine. Now, I'm going to show you in the Biblos how the Bible is a controlling book and not a loving, everlasting father to son, father to children story. When you see how God speaks to the people, he speaks to his children as a ruler, a master, and not a father. That's how he talks. That's all through the scriptures. Obey me, follow me, submit yourself unto me, serve me. What father talks like that to his children? Now, you guys are mothers and fathers. Are you talking like that to your daughter? Does that even trigger to speak like that to your daughter? Absolutely not. You know why? Because you generally are the creators of your child. That is your substance. That is your continuation of you, your DNA. But this father of the Biblos talks to us in a total different manner. He speaks to us as servants and not as children. Prove me wrong. I'll wait for it. Now, for the brothers that's running around claiming that the Bible was here, Christianity or the belief of Jesus was here thousands of years before the Christians arrived. Okay, prove that. You can't use the Ethiopian Bible because, for one, you guys know that Ethiopia is one of the remaining countries that didn't, or excuse me, should I say, that was never under European control. Why is that? Oh, no problem. I will tell you. Because the Europeans and the Ethiopians, the rulers of the Ethiopians, are one of the same. For example, the man that created the Ethiopian Bible was a Byzantine king. Would you like me to show you it? Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. You said my vocals went out? because it looks good on my end. It looks good on my end. Hold on. Hold on. I'm writing this down so you guys can see it in real time. Let me pull them up. Let me pull them up. Hold on. Let me pull them up. Yeah, yeah, but you see, that's World War One, brother. We're talking about in general, altogether. The reason why the Italians wanted that land. Remember, the Italians broke free from Roman rule. These was the rebels that broke free from Romans, the Pope. They wanted to do their own things. They wanted their own land. And they thought that going into Ethiopia would allow them to have a place of their own, because a lot of Italians were people of exile. People, they don't tell you these stories, but we're going to get into that. Give me a second. We're going to get into that. Give me a second. Hold all your questions. Give me a second. I got you, bro. I promise. I got you. Want to know about his life. Show the source in Britannica. Let me see if it's this right here. Listen, my guy, it's all good. I want you to listen. If you're able to provide all the intel, it's all good with me. But overall, we both know that Ethiopia and another country, I think it's Liberia, that wasn't captured by they never been colonized. Never. Hold on. I think I pressed the wrong one. It's not what I want. I just asked you to give me the Britannica. Hold on. Hold on. You see, when you start to uncover and bring forth factual information, these people tend to act completely stupid, because I'm asking Chat GPT because I don't want to do all the writing, but I'm gonna pull it up for you. Don't worry. Let me see. Let me see if I click this one, if it's gonna pop up. Cause I want you guys to know who this man was. Yep. See? They're not. Can I have his life, please? Look, I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see this. This is what the internet is doing now when it's pertaining to this type of information. Let me share my screen with you guys because I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this because a lot of you guys be thinking that I be bugging with the things that I be saying. Like I didn't do all my studies, all my research. Like I don't got these things in my archives, but I want you guys to see it on the internet. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna do something even better. Hold on. Because a lot of people say that I be, they claiming that I'm bringing false information. That's the new thing now. I'm bringing forth false information. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Yo, where's my scene, bro? Oh, it's right here. My bad, guys. All right. So I'm sharing my screen with you guys. Okay? I'm sharing my screen with you guys. I want you guys to see this. Okay? This is what I put in when I clicked on Abba Gimison. You see this? They don't want you to know about his true life, but we're gonna find it today. Don't worry. We're gonna find it today. Okay? So look right here. I'm sure you guys can see it on the screen. When you look under life, okay, hagiographical life, his father was I can't even say this word, king of Rum, Byzantium, okay, which means he was a Byzantine king, right? After his father's death, he became king for 7 years, after which Abba, this is his cousin, summoned him to be a monk with him for 5 years. Okay. Afterwards, Abba Gurmia established a monastery at Madaria, where he stayed for about 20 years. Okay. He wondrous work, exorcists demons and perform miracles for the sick. Okay. See, they're not giving you all the things that they used to before. So I would have to literally go through my archives to show you these things. But what is this right here? Let's look up what this is. What does this say? A ancient Greek city. Let me say that again. Ancient Greek city. Let me say that one more time. Let me see. I want to make sure you guys are able to see that. Oh yeah, you are able to see that. Great, wonderful, wonderful. An ancient Greek city founded in the 7th century BC at the southern end of the Bostomorius site of the modern city of Istanbul. That's not Africa. That's Europe. That's their area. That's that, and he was, listen, it was rebuilt by Constantine the Great in AD 32, 324 to 330 as the Constantinople. I don't know how to say these people's words, but this is it. Him, Constantine, and this man are related through marriage. I don't know if he married Constantine's sister or Constantine married his sister, but they are related. Okay? Go to, matter of fact, let me, let me, let me see something. Hold on. You say your vision is bad? We don't want that. Look at this. Why is Britannica not giving you the story of Abergramia? I did a whole live like 2 years ago getting information from this about this man. It's been removed. Now, the question that you got to ask people is, why are these things being removed? Why are these things being changed? Because we are living in the age of information. And when you're living in the age of information, when you're living in the age of information, it's only so much information the ruling powers want you to have, because the objective is to keep you in the belief of their story, because when you denounce that story, you're breaking free from the matrix. A lot of these people are born into this ideology. Some of you guys need to go look up a book by Charles C. Jones. Grab it before they remove it. How to Make a Negro Christian. In that book, you will see that every slave that came from the shores of Africa, they had any understanding of Christianity. In fact, the slave masters didn't see you suited to learn that religion. You know why you learned that religion? Because Charles C. Jones said, listen, if you want to minimize the rebellion, you have to let them know about Jesus. You have to let them know about about our religion. The slave masters told Charles C. Jones, who was a slave master in his own right, you have to prove it. You know what he did? That man made his entire plantation convert into Christianity. And the families, the mothers and the fathers did not even want to partake in that. You know what Charles C. Jones figured out? Don't worry about the elders. Let's focus on the children. And every precept that was in the Bible was used. I can give you a prime example. You know the saying, you can't put new wine in an old bottle? You see, when it says your mind has to be reverted as a child in order to receive, that was the precepts that was used to convert the children. So this is how he was converting the children, people. Every day every Sunday, he will have everybody gather. He will have his children give his sermons, and they would stand up. So he was allowing children to teach children. They was providing food, clothes. They was allowing them to be free all of Sunday. And if the mothers and fathers allowed their children to participate, they also had the free day on Sunday. And the children started learning. The children started seeing that Jesus wasn't as bad as mommy and daddy said that they was. Similar to what you guys do now. You know, when you guys come into this Hebrew nonsense, you go run into your moms and your father say, Moms, Dad, they lied to us. We are the regular people in the book. And your mother's like, baby, I don't want to hear you crazy. Please go get your yams and your pork chops. It's on the table. I'm not eating pork no more, Mom. That's what you was doing. Same thing they did to the children. They gave the children the story. They made it nice and suitable for the children. And guess what? What did the Bible say? Train up a child from young so when they get old, they won't depart. So as these children became full-fledged adults and had children of their own, they remembered when their slave master allowed them to have fun and have all these parties and dinner and food and dancing and cheering on Sunday. So guess what they did? They brought their children to their people on Sundays. Then another rule came out. Baptizing your newborn as soon as they are born. You can't find me nowhere in the scriptures, nowhere in the Biblos where it tells you that a baby is supposed to get baptized and submerged in water. I thought the submerging in water was the combatant of your sins. But if you are a slave and I give you a slave story, I can tell you you was born in sin. So when your child is born, if you don't want them to have that sin, put them in the water. Oh, Oh, Junior, are you talking that talk? And I got the book to prove it. Matter of fact, hold on a minute. Let me go get the book for you. Let me go get the book. Hold on. Because I know a lot of you guys thinking that I be bugging. Give me 2 seconds. Get this book. Get this book right here. It's a good read, people. Now, back to what I was saying, right? The book says, train up a child from young so when they get old, they won't depart. So when these children was getting older, like I said before, they was they was teaching this ideology to their children. Their children was learning this. Now, after their children learned this, remember, we came into the shores of America 1616, right? 1616. The Bible was already established and published by 1611, right? Cool. By 1616, we came into the shores. We didn't have no understanding of the Biblos. Absolutely nothing. Not one, not twice, not three, not four, nothing. We didn't have no understanding of that, right? After Charles C. Jones was effective with this, and he showed the other slave owners how effective this was. He was ordered to be like, all right, so then you got to come teach this to our people. He will travel 20 miles day in, day out for like 10 years, going to different plantations to set up what you guys are seeing today. So when you hear people say, yo, man, we was this and we was keeping commandments and we was speaking Hebrew and they got Hebrew in the land. Absolutely. What language you thought Christopher Columbus was speaking? You know his name was Christopher Cologne, right? right? You know he's a Cohen, right? You know that, right? You know the Cohens they sit at the high table. You guys are aware of this, right? So when Christopher Columbus came with his 1,000 men, I can show you pictures of, I can show you documentations of that too. Hold on. Let me pull up these documentations for you guys, because a lot of you guys like to say I be bugging. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me get these things for you, man. Let me get these things for you guys. Let me share my screen again. Hold on. Let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen with y'all again. Because y'all say that I be bugging. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me take the share screen off. Let's put it on blank. Because I want to put this on the screen. All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to share the screen. All right. Since they won't let me pull it up on the screen, let me see what happens if I click this. And for those that just tuning in, the today's broadcast is about why we no longer arguing with religious believers. Hold on. Did my screen just freeze? Yeah, oh, my bad. There you go. I want you guys, if anybody could see that, take the time out and read this right here. This is straight from their diary, guys. The Spaniards who also, spoke Hebrew. So let me just give you an understanding how these languages go, right? Because languages, they got feminine and masculine, right? The Hebrew was the masculine language. I hope you guys understand that. And Spanish or Latin is the feminine language, right? The reason why Latin is the #1 language is because they wanted to, make humanity very sensitive, emotional. Everything that you see now, it was literally created intentionally. English is a pretext of Spanish, aka Hebrew, and German. You put these two together, you get the English language. Okay? This is where it comes from. The objective was to feminize and make the world weak. We are weak mentally, physically, emotionally, also sexually, right? Now, that's why we produce a lot of females. Not in personal, we just gonna call it for what it is, right? Cool, no problem. Let me make let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, yeah, we fully active. Okay, so let me read this. It says the Spaniards took babies from their mother's breasts, grabbed them by the feet, smashed their heads against rocks. They built a long gabbit low enough for the toes to touch the ground and prevent strangling, and hang 13 natives at a time in honor of who? Of Christ, our Savior, and the 12 apostles. Then straw was wrapped around their torn bodies and they were burnt alive. This is what was being done in the name of Jesus. Now you got brothers and sisters arguing with me, telling me that Jesus is coming. You know, every time a melanated person say Jesus is coming, you're basically saying you are preparing for the next wave of your genocide. Because this is what came with Jesus. Right here. This is their writings. This is not me. This is them. It is not Jones. Okay? There you go. Why aren't we arguing with these people no more? Because they don't know what they're talking about. Let me see if I can pull up another one for y'all. The Spanish treated the Indians with such rigor and inhumane that they seemed the very ministers of hell, driving them day and night with beatings, kicks, lashes, and blows, and calling them no sweeter names than dogs. You know, niggers, spickbacks, you dumb, you know what? This been going on for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Okay, women who listen what they did to the women. Women who had just given birth were forced to carry burdens for the Christians, not the Spaniards. You see, they didn't. It wasn't about race. All of this is about a religious structure, infrastructure. The foundation of everything in this world is based on religion, especially Christianity. That's why the world is governed by the what? The canon law. The canon law is another term for the Bible. This is why they don't see nothing wrong with enslaving you, because the book that you guys are proclaiming is yours justifies your enslavement. Okay? Forced to carry burdens for the Christians and thus could not carry infants because of the hard work and weakness of hunger. Infant numbers of these were cast aside on the road and thus perish. Okay? Infants was then throw that baby aside where they perish. In my hard drive, which I got disconnected for you guys thinking that I'm lying, right? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. Quick, fast, quick, fast, quick, fast, real quick, real quick. Let me show you guys. Because you know, everybody's quick to say I be wilding, right? So here's my hard drive. Okay, this is a hard drive. In this hard drive, I got the writings not only for the victims, the Native Americans, but also by the invaders. When these people came into the shores of of America, the Western world, there was over 2 point something million Taínos, Arawaks, etc. When Christopher Columbus and his 1,000 men was done violating the land, imagine it was only 230 of them left from 2 million and change, if not more, because that's what they documented. You know, they don't like to be seen as horrendous people. 2 million and more, right? Dropped down to 250 people, if not less than that. They came into the land speaking Hebrew. They used to go into the land, take little girls, 12-year-old. You guys talking about Epstein. You worrying about Epstein. Let's talk about what Christopher Columbus and them was doing. They was taking little 12-year-old girls, bringing them back to the ship and violating them, passing these little girls around like it was dodgeball. What are you talking about? And they did all of that in the name of Christianity because that's what they came here for. I'm gonna show you where I'm. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Look, look. We got an emotional one. Look, Hood CC, Hood CO 88. You emotional? What happened? You Hispanic too? You carry the blood of Christopher Columbus? You heartbroken? Your cheeks is spread wide? Go take a seat, pimpin'. Go take a seat, pimpin'. You emotional. We don't deal with emotional creatures. You're already contaminated, bro. You've been bit. You've been bit like the movie Sinners, man. Go take a seat, pimpin'. It's not for you, dog. Hold on. Let me show you another one. We don't deal with emotional creatures out here. You a hood. Well, yeah, you know what? You absolutely right because the hood done been feminized. You probably listen to rap. You probably a rapper yourself. Oh yeah, you already been feminized, man. Go take a seat, bro. You emotional. We don't deal with emotional creatures, bro. We don't deal with emotional creatures, guys. Tell the emotional ones go take a seat somewhere. Their mommy's religion is being shattered right now. Let's pull up the next one, guys. Let me see if it's this one. I mean, you guys could read this. It's not the one I'm looking for, but you could read this too. Not the one I'm looking for, but y'all could read that too. And this is the book. This is the book. Then came the conquistadors. You could read it. In the beginning, the Indians regarded the Spaniards as angels from heaven. Okay? This is Bartolome de las Casas, The Devastation of the Indians, 1552. This is when this came out. You can go, if they still got it. And some of these places, they're charging these books $1,500. I wonder why. I wonder why. These niggas be emotional, man. Can't be dealing with you can't be, and then it be these so-called hood niggas that be all emotional. But they not the one outside doing absolutely no work but destroying the community. Don't worry, ISIS go where ICE come, you ain't gonna do nothing but cry and complain. Look, this is the guy. This is the author of this book. Here's all the reference you can see right here. For those that thinking that I'm making this up and stuff like this, you can get all of this reference all online. Get the book, get them while they last. You know what I'm saying? Get it while it lasts. We not arguing with individuals. with their philosophies. The reason why I'm saying these things is because I'm sick and tired of everybody. They'll do a mistake in life and then they'll say, well, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Jesus didn't come with no blood. Jesus did sacrifice for you. Jesus was literally a story created for control. It was all about control. It was never about salvation. Salvation is only for the salvaged people. They were savages, bro. Their behavior shows you how savage they are. Look what ICE is doing right now. Savage behavior. That's inhumane. That's in their DNA. They don't know how to be subtle. They don't know how to be calm. They don't know how to just live amongst everybody. Anything and everyone is a threat, bro. This is what savage people do. This is what savage people do. They come into your space. They threaten you with ideologies. They tell you philosophies. They tell you this. They tell you that. They say, "Oh man, you're a oh ho ho." You ask a European right now, you're like yo, bro, like yo, what's the big deal with you? What's the big deal with you and Hispanic people? Why you want them gone so bad? Hispanic people don't even bother you, bro. Don't tell me because they bringing drugs into the land, because we all know that the drugs and the cartels is being run and owned by Warren Buffett. That is declassified. You know this. We know that the CIA and these people got their hands in that. You seen the movie Catalina, right? Where he's literally having a whole conversation with the CIA. This is what they do, bro. So what's really the issue? I'm gonna tell you what the issue is. The issue is that you guys have sat back and relaxed so long. You guys still want to be catered to. You know, you got a land, 40 acres and a mule with no work. You took over lands. You guys just took everything and sat back and said, this is all ours. Meanwhile, everybody's working hard. America became a corporation and not a federation. It's not a federation no more. America's a corporate society, capitalistic society. Anybody can make money, be successful, buy land, buy homes, buy towns, buy islands, etc. If your money's right, you can buy it tonight. That's how it is. So while you was sitting back, drinking your moonshine, chewing on your tobacco, watching baseball and football, people was grinding, working, and now they're putting themselves in positions where they're owning luxury cars, homes, got jewelry, living life. Forget what you've seen about the rappers. These rappers are European invested psyops to disrupt the youth, the young youth. That's why hip hop, they call it a young man sport. Rap is literally designed to destroy the youth. It's nothing more. But for those that oversees that and expand from that and like broke off from that and like to listen to classical jazz and chamber music and just like to listen to this stuff to keep things in order, those are the people that you see successful. And when you see that, these people got upset. And guess what? They seeing the Mexicans doing it. But my question is, you guys have everything at your disposal. You got the law behind your back. You got the system behind your back. You got the world behind your back. And all you got to do is just get up from your behind and just work hard. Grind. Put down the Twinkies and the moonshine and grind. No, you don't want to do that. That's why you standing on make America great again. You thought America was great when you guys was just having everybody working on the plantation while you was sitting back collecting, demanding, hands out, fist up, saying, give me. But it's not like that no more because America is no longer run by Americans. It's run by the four lettermen. And you know that. You know that. But you can't get mad at us because we as individuals are trying to excel. Understand we've been at the bottom for so long. I think it's time for us to rise up, at least allow us at least to touch the sun too. You've been touching the sun and been burning y'all. So step aside and let other people get some of that sunlight. That's all. That's all. Because whether you see it or not, bro, you are part of the destruction. You are part of the demise. You are part of the genocide. You think you're gonna be protected because of the color of your skin? It's not even about you no more. The four-letter men despise you guys. You guys are aware of that, right? You are aware of that, right? You think the Georgia Guidestones was just for us? It was for you too. The problem is you still believe in the ideology. You thinking that the rapture is coming, the second coming. There's no second coming, guys. The second coming of Jesus happened right in front of you when the person was hanging 13 people up on a goddamn rope, on a gambit. That's when Jesus came. He came, he saw, he conquered. Every knee bowed. All of our knees bow. When you went to church on Sunday, it was time for you to pray. What was you doing? You was bowing your knees and you was praying to who? You was praying to Jesus. Can we get a round of applause, please? That's it. Now that everybody is seeing the world for what it is, let me tell you something. And this is no disrespect to my Europeans, but come on, Europeans, let's not act like if this atrocities was only affecting us, you guys would have been sitting on the sidelines not caring. Like when the Tuskegee experiment took place, some of you guys knew what was going on, but you didn't care because it didn't bother you. It didn't knock on your front door. Now that all this shit is knocking on your front door, now it's chaos. Now is we need to kumbaya. We need to come together. We need to rise. We need to stand. We are one. We are this and we are that. That should have been that from the get-go. Now, I'm not going to act like there's not the Europeans that had hands and the power for the liberations of melanated people from the gate. There was. And shout out to you guys. Nothing but love and respect. But for those that Johnny come along lately, come on, my guys. Come on. And we're so compassionate and we got so much love and respect for not just ourselves but all of humanity. We still opening the doors and tell you come in. But the problem is you can't be in control. Yes, it's okay to take directives from a melanated person. It's okay. We're not gonna lead you to the volcano. It's okay to take directives from a Mexican. It's okay. They won't lead you to the volcano. The only way you're gonna go into the volcano if you try to do sneaky European shit. That's it. Come join the party, join the fight, but stay in your lane. That's it. That's all. That's it. But for my melanated people, understand that every time you say on the second coming, Jesus is coming, you're basically waiting for your genocide. Because that's what came with Jesus. Stop with all the shenanigans. You can't prove where Jesus is. You can't prove who he is. You can't even tell me where he grew up at. What was his name? What was the name of his best friend? He didn't have a best friend. Every child had a best friend. Every child had a best friend. 5,000. He made one loaf of bread feed 5,000 people. So what? Everybody was just getting a little crumb. Like, come on, people. Like, at some point, we gotta wake up, bro. Nobody had a interaction, a one-on-one interaction with God. I'm talking about face to face. Hey, God, what's up? Hey, my son, I just came to check on you. I just came to let you know what was going on. Nobody had a revelation. The only people that ever had revelations are the ones that created these religions. And let's talk about the Hebrew Israelites for a little bit. Another man that caught a vision, right? So for you guys proclaiming that the Hebrew Israelites is our, is black people, we was the original Jews, etc., etc. Let me give you guys a story of the Hebrew Israelites. William S. Crowdy. I'm not even going to look him up. I want you guys to do that homework. William S. Crowdy. Look him up. And then look up Frank Cherry. Look up their upbringings. You will find out that both these individuals were 33-degree Masons. Now, these are the same people that tells you, oh, that's pagan. Oh, God don't be lukewarm. It's either you're going to be hot or cold. Stay in a position. But they was Freemasons. And after they became Freemasons, they came up with a vision. Let me show my face for a minute. Hold on. You guys got to listen to the boy, Pete. Right? After they became 33-degree Masons, they had a vision. And the vision was they believed that they was the children of Israel. Key word, they believe. No facts, no documentations, just a belief. But we all know that the belief in that teachings came from the Jesuit order. Oh, yes. Just like the Jesuit order created the all-black school called Spelman. You know, Spelman was funded by them, right? You guys know this, right? You know, a lot of these HSBC schools was funded by them. You guys are aware of this, right? You guys are aware of this, right? Oh, okay. If not, go ahead and do your homework. You got homework to do. That's why you join the Brotherhood, the Alpha, Sinai, Kumbaya. Where you think that comes from? That comes from the Scottish Rite. That comes from Freemasonry. That comes from the Jesuit order. Go do your homework. That's where that comes from. Now back to the Hebrew Israelites. So William S. Crowdy had a vision that they were the original people of the book. Again, keyword, a vision. And he was able to establish churches all around the United States, Kentucky, Philadelphia, New York, Ohio. Where did he get the fundings to do that? Where did he get the funding to do that in a time where people were still enslaved? In fact, his slavery, he was bought out of slavery through somebody. Who bought him out that slavery? Go do your homework. So he was able to establish churches all throughout America. And he didn't stop there. While in Philadelphia, he taught a man by the name of Albert Christian. Albert Christian, and I got the books for that too. If you guys thinking that I'll be lying, I got everything that I'm telling you. I can prove. I don't just go off things off the internet, because the internet. This is what they do on the internet. The internet can always be altered, but once it's written in black and white, as long as you got that copy, it is sketched in stone. So Albert Christian, you understand, was given a command by William S. Crowdy to go to South Africa, particularly South Africa, and bring forth this ideology. Around the same time, it was a massive migration of European Jews coming from Polish, Russia, etc., coming into South of Africa. Oh. And after they came, how was they able to settle in? Because they had to come with something that will make everybody accept you. If I come to you with a religious belief, oh my gosh, you believe, oh, you know about Jesus? You know about the Most High? You know about keeping the commandments? Oh yes, you was one of us. And you know how they do. They need to get you spiritually detached. And then they just take over. Hence, why you got the most fertile area in South Africa called Johannesburg. What name is, that's not African. Johannesburg. We're not even going to talk about Cecil Rose. Oh, we're not going to talk about him. He's just as bad as Leopold. We're not going to talk about them. Oh, no. No, we're not gonna talk about King James. You know, the one that you proclaiming to be a black man who funded slavery, who funded the first ship called Jesus of Lamech that took Africans from the shores of West Africa and brought them to America, and in honor and respect, like say thank you for investing in us. They named the lands in the shores of America, the eastern region. They named cities after King James. They call it Jamestown. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you guys are quick to tell me that he was a Hebrew. He's absolutely right. He was. We're not gonna deny that. We're not gonna deny he was an Israelite, but he wasn't a melanated person. Miss me with this photo of King James. Let me show you. Let's pull up this photo of King James. Let's pull up this photo. Yo, Cal, you with me? Cal, where you at, pimpin'? Where you at, pimpin'? Let me know you still here. Just put a thumbs up for a player. Just put a thumbs up for a player. That's all I need. Just put a thumbs up for a player. That's all I need, Cal. Cal's my moderator, man. Shout out to my man Cal. Yeah, real Monday. You know what I'm saying? Let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen again. Hold on. Let's go to Google Chrome. Here we go. So this is who the people proclaim for him to be a black man. I want you guys to look at the nose. Let me put up a better one. This is who. This is who they proclaim to be a black man. Okay, cool. Now, I'm gonna show you just by looking at the images how you know that this man is not black. For one, look at the nose. The nose says it's everything. Nose is pointy, long and pointy. Definitely not us. Cool, no problem. Look at the hair. Now, somebody explain to me, when did melanated people start cutting their hair? We didn't know nothing about haircuts until we was enslaved. The only haircuts that we was doing was bald head, bald head, like cutting your hair off, no line up and nothing like that. It still goes on in Africa to this day. Or you let your hair grow and turn it into twists, what you call locks. What is that? That is a Caesar haircut. What is King James doing with a Caesar haircut? Look at the nose with this one right here. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back. This is the one they like to use. Look at the nose. That man looked like Sean Connery. Rest that man's soul. Are you kidding me? Then they like to pull this up. A side image. That look like a European as well. Look at the hair. Look at the hair. So much contradictions. The coin does not look like none of these pictures. Now, this same image here can pass for this right here. Look at the nose. Look at this nose. Look at this nose. Look at this nose. Look at this nose. Do you not see the similarities? Huh? This is a melanated nose. Whether it's small or not, whether it's small or not, it doesn't look like this. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we know that. Listen, the name of Africa is El Kebulan. We know that. I know that. You know you got to meet people where they at, my guy. You know what I'm saying? You got to meet them where they at. Because it's bad enough that people argue with me. I had a Christian tell me, he told me I gotta repent, I gotta relax. You can't you acting like you know it all. I never act like I know it all. I am one of the people that love information. I read, I read books, I order books. I'm trying to reestablish my bookshelf. I got books for days. I got books for listen. If the internet was to go down today, I promise you I'll be all right. Look, look at the similarities. Look at the similarities. Look at the similarities. Look at the body structure. That's not even a body structure of a well-fit, melanated man. And this is, like I said, this is no disrespect, but just look. Look at the similarities. Look at the nose. Look how big is his ears. We don't have big ears. Look. Look at the eyes. I can't make this stuff up. And like I asked, and you said, what is he? He's a European. He's a European. King James is not a melanated man, bro. He's a full-fledged European. He is a Hebrew Israelite. Hebrew is a European created language. Israelite is a religion that was created by the Jesuit order. Okay? Isis, Ra, and El, three deities. They created, they put it together, and they said that we are those people. This ideology, the only reason why this ideology was given unto the melanated people is because they needed the melanated people to summons their gods so they can reign supreme and rule the entire world. That's how they was ruling. Because you guys don't understand what the main objective was. These people are chess players, not checkers. They told you to play checkers. They play chess. They say, yeah, let them keep these feast days. Let them call on Hawusha, Hahakuku, and the Poo-Poo-Poos and the Kumbayas. And the people that gave you this ideology, you don't see they reigning supreme? Who's buying up all your communities? Who's buying up these buildings? Who's owning all these record labels? Who's owning all these movies? Who's owning everything? How did they get to these positions of power? Easily. How? They had to break you spiritually. Who is Aaron Lopez? Yeah. Yeah, look him up. Another three-letter man. Just like King James was a three-letter man. This is the same person that wrote you. This is the same. Listen, guys. This is the same person. This is the same person that wrote you guys. That wrote the demonology book, and I got it too. I got that book. Would you like me to show you the book? I already showed you this. So everything that I'm saying, I can prove it. No, none of these people can prove it. Prove to me that King James is a melanated man. Don't give me this one image. Let me see a picture of his mother. Let me see a picture of his father. If he's a melanated man and he was a black man ruling those areas, that means his general had to be melanated. That means his associates, his wives, somebody had to be melanated. How come there's no image of that. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, my bad. It's in the Vatican, right? They took all the records. They left this one image and hide everything else, right? They whitewash everything else, right? Always an excuse other than saying, nah, bro, I really don't know. Oh yeah, bro, you do make sense. I don't know, but I will respect somebody be like, yo, bro, to be honest, I don't know, but I just feel it in my heart that this is me. And I would have took that other than you trying to prove something that you have no documentations of. You cannot prove that you are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The only way you can prove that you are a descendant of these people, you will first have to get DNA samples and then take your DNA, your blood, and see if it matches. But in order to do that, because we know that you are alive, we know that you exist, you will have to show me these people, their bodies, where they're located, and get their information and see if it ties in with you. But you guys don't. You guys, listen, you guys are talking about Jesus this, he reigns supreme. What about Solomon? You guys read the book of Proverbs, you guys read the book of Psalms. That's Solomon's writings. Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiastic. You guys read his writings. Wisdom of Solomon, Songs of Solomon. You guys read his writings. So you know that he was a king. You know that he had how many wives. You know that he had how many children. How come nobody can trace none of these children? Nobody? They, oh my bad, they're gonna give you Queen Sheba, and then they're gonna give you Selassie. Selassie looked like a full-fledged Arab. So are you telling me King James, are you telling me Solomon was half Arab? Because Selassie don't have anything melanated in him. That man looked like Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle was not a melanated person. Newsflash. He was an Arab. Just because you are in Africa doesn't mean you are a melanated person. You are the descendants of the invaders who set up and said that this is my land, and because of that, you see that. French Montana, that's not a melanated person. I can't make these things up. And it's not me being racist. It's just we got to stop sugarcoating and being soft and being afraid to speak the facts. Because only the facts is what's going to set us free. I'm not here to offend. I'm just here to bring the facts so we can get a factual direction on where we're going. Because a lot of us are falling for the fugaga. You're falling for this Hollywood script. That's why they call it the scriptures. It's nothing but scripts that was written by Jesuit orders to keep you locked in, confused, divided, filled with hatred, filled with anger, pointing fingers at everybody else but other than yourself. That's why they gave you the Biblos. That's why the Biblos is the number one published book in the world. And these are the same people talking about, yeah, man, people is gonna be jailed for believers of Christ. No, you're going to be jailed because you denounce Christ. That's when you're gonna be persecuted. That's when you're gonna be persecuted for my name's sake. How dare you disrespect me and step away from me? You know who I am? I am your Lord and Savior. Get down on your knees and worship me. Bow down and worship me. If you don't, you will be condemned. You will be prosecuted at its highest order, where you might even be beheaded. They did it before. I just showed you guys the paperwork. What are we talking about? You guys just don't want to accept the reality. You guys don't want to accept the reality. Look how many so-called prophecies that you guys thought it was gonna happen. It didn't happen. Just last year alone, people was literally in the woods looking in the sky, December 20th or whatever date, thinking something was gonna happen. Nothing happens. Homies done sold their cars, their homes, and when it didn't happen, you should see their face. They said, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I thought he was gonna come. I mean, and all of a sudden a GoFundMe goes up. Then you got those that's in Africa looking into the sky, literally looking into the sky, waiting for something to come. Nothing came. Then you got those that's in Africa listening to this man talking about, oh yeah, another flood is coming. I built the ark and you guys better hurry up and come. Donate all your money though. And when that time come, he came out the same day and said, God gave him a vision. Here comes another vision, guys. And he said he's going to hold back the floods. When the last time I checked in the Bible, it says that the rainbow is a covenant between me and you guys to let you know that I would never flood the earth again. But hey, who am I, right? Who am I, right? Who am I, right? Nowhere in the Old Testament can you find the word hell. Let's look this up. Hold on. But why not? I'm in the mood, guys. No, no. Here comes another one. Here comes another emotional creature. Probably come from a single parent household. We don't know. We don't deal with emotional creatures, bro. Your name is Bashe, bro. That's kind of super. You know what? Big fisherman. Okay, we don't argue with Fisher prices over here, bro. Hold on, guys. So, so the word hell doesn't appear. They said it's Shiloh, or it translates to the word grave or pit. So it never says hell. They said it referred to as Shiloh, which means grave or pit. But in the New Testament, they tell you hell is a place of torment, destruction. That's when, it took the apostle of Paul and Peter to have the apocalypse for you guys to get the story of hell, right? But when you go into the Greek mythology, and you look up the origin of hell, you're gonna see that of course it comes from the Dante's Inferno, and literally it used to be a storytelling. It used to be a story, a bedtime story, telling to children to help them go to sleep. That's where hell came from. And like I said, Constantine wanted complete control with no rebellion, with no pushback, and this is where the story of hell come from. And this is where the story of hell comes from. And the reason why a lot of us don't make moves, don't rebel, don't stand up, don't unite is because of this story right here. And they gave you this Lucifer story about Lucifer is the king or the prince of darkness, and he's the ruler of hell. And then they got Gazriel and Azrael. All these people are in hell right now. And all these people name ends with EL, just like Israel ends with EL. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. It's too much for the average mind to comprehend. You get Bashe number two, very emotional. You know what I'm saying? No dad in the house. You heard? Mama took him to church every Sunday, mad emotional. You heard? We don't deal with the emotional creatures, man. We tell the emotional creatures, go to the side, man. Stand over there, bro, and allow us to do what we do here, man. You heard? I know. It's okay. So, let me share my screen for this hell story right here. My bad, guys. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Why is my loop deck not working? So I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm gonna see if I could zoom in. Let me see if I could zoom in. All right, I could zoom in. All right. So this is hell. Okay. Okay. Pagan. Like I said, Greek mythology. It's a Greek story. Hades, hell, all of that came from them. You would have had, listen, none of you guys would have had any understanding of what hell was unless these people did not bring it to you with religion. All the Abrahamic religion has a story of judgment. But I find it ironic that the same people that's preaching judgment and wrath are the same people that's doing that same shit on earth in real time. We're not gonna act like the Arabs are innocent here too. Like a lot of people be thinking that I just be slandering Christianity. No, all this Abrahamic religion are all one and the same. Every single one of them had their hands in our enslavement. Every single one of them are capitalizing off your mental enslavement. Every one of them is capitalizing off the fear hungering, right? They cause the fear for a reason. All of these niggas sit down at the same table, drink wine, play golf, share women at the Epstein's Islands, all of them. What you think the Bilderberg meetings is about? You think President Putin is not there? You think the president is not there? You think the guy for the prime minister of all the other religions is not there? The only people that's not there is you and me. The only people that's there is you and me. You think all 52 presidents of Africa is over there? Absolutely not. It's only a handful. It's intentional. You guys don't know what's going on. All of this is just a world stage to have everybody in a state of division, confusion. And when things hit the fan, they gave you religion because religion is a sit still doctrine. That's why it was given unto the slaves to keep you calm, to make sure you never rebel, to make sure you never go against the establishment. They gave you a lie and told you that religion and state are separate. That's not true. They are all one and the same. You can't have one without the other. Okay, when you take an oath to take the presidency of the United States, your hand is on a Bible. You make a pledge to who? To a God. Which God? Obviously, that's pertaining to religion. What are you talking about? When you see the Iran sitting there, when they get mad, they say, "Oh, praise it to Allah." That's religion. What are you talking about? You can't have one without the other. Just like you can't have slavery without religion. There's no religion without slavery. You can't have one without the other. These are the found. This is the foundation of this entire whole world structure. Is under the guidelines of religion. What are you talking about? When they was conquering the lands, what you think they came with? You think they came with kumbaya? You think they came in with a baskets full of fruits? Absolutely not. These niggas came with Jesus Christ. And they said, if you don't submit, you shall suffer. Some who have denied the existence of hell may be surprised to learn that the scriptures mention two hells. We find this in Revelations 20, verse 13, 14, which reads, death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So death and hell was cast into the lake of fire. Right there alone just shows you a level of contradiction. So now death and hell is two different things. Now hell is going into the fire. I mean, come on, people. But I thought hell was a place filled with fire. Which one is it? Which one is it? Bible scholars generally agree that the lake of fire means hell. So how could one hell be cast into another, the lake of fire, if there was only one hell? This passage plainly refers to two separate hells, for one hell could not be cast into another hell if there was only one hell. So to justify the foolishness, they're going to give you another foolishness, but because it's them writing it, you guys are going to take this as factual when this is another level of deception. European ideology at its highest order. When I speak to indigenous people, those that was able to maintain their culture and their traditions, these people, these people don't have any mentions of hell. They tell you this hell story is nothing but lies. They tell you this. They tell you that our ancestors, they have absolutely nothing to do with that. So why did hell make its way into our homes? Because hell was the only thing, the apocalypse of Paul. And we're not even going to talk about Paul. Hold on, let me see if I got the book on Paul. Let me show you guys. Because you got to be thinking I be bugging. Check this out. Let me see if you guys can see it. Oh, yeah. The Apostle Paul, deceiver of Christianity. Shout out to the snake Jake, bro. Yo, Jake, man, I appreciate you, bro. You know why? Because you just standing on facts. You're not trying to hear the philosophies, bro. You know what I'm saying? We not trying to argue the facts, bro. Right? Now, I'm gonna give you guys a revelation. And I'm gonna grab the base gracefully bow out. Cause it's 1 minute and 35. I've been here for an hour and change. I'm gonna gracefully bow out. Paul was your first pope. The Paulinian doctrine is what every religion is followed by. The Pope upholds the Paulinian teachings and not Jesus. You never notice that the Pope never refers to any book of Matthews, Luke, John, other than John 3:16, which we all know was a fairy tale created, added on story. He always goes to First Corinthians, Second Corinthians, the book of Romans, Galatians. You ever notice that a lot of these religious organizations love going to those precepts? They never stay focused on Matthews unless it's to justify something. One thing for certain, two things for sure. They will never tell you that as long as heaven and earth stand, no jot, no tittle should shy away from keeping the laws. They won't go there. Absolutely not. They'll give you the book of Romans. They will give you, I am covered by the blood of Jesus. All of that is in the it's in the writings of Paul. Paul, a man that never seen Jesus not once time. In fact, this was the same man that was persecuting anybody that was following that ideology. You think he changed, or they added the story to make you make the transition from believing in Jesus and started following Paul? That was a Roman clearance. Constantine said, I want that. Oh yeah. Why is Paul, a man that never walked, never was chosen to be a disciple? Jesus never chose Paul to be a disciple. I don't care what nobody's telling me. Never chose him to be a disciple. How did he reign supreme in the New Testament? He got more writings than Mark. He got more writings than Luke, James, Matthews. He got more writings than anybody in that book. This is a man that never walked with Jesus one day in his life. And everything that he teaches goes against what Jesus is teaching. Because Paul was your first pope. Yeah. Tell me I'm lying. Prove me. Listen, prove me wrong. If anything that I'm saying is inaccurate, incorrect, prove me wrong. I beg you. I would love for you to prove me wrong. Listen, Paul himself told out of his own mouth that the Bible is nothing but allegory. Out of his own mouth, he told you that. In the book of Revelations, Jesus waited till the end of the chapter to tell you that he was Lucifer all this time. That he didn't even listen. He tells you, I come in the volume of the book. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. When you get to the end of the book, he tells you, I am Lucifer. And he makes sure he tell you, he said, I, Jesus, me. So you know it's nobody else. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Tell me I'm lying. I beg you. Tell me I am lying. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You guys be too emotional, man. Don't be like Bashier. Number two. Don't be like what was the other guy name? Hood CEO. Don't be like them. Don't be the emotional creatures, man. No daddy in their life. You know what I'm saying? Was raised in the church. Smoke one blunt. Now they the biggest. They the biggest balls that we seen thus far. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people be. Don't let these people be the ones, man. Yeah. Hold on. Don't let these people be the ones. Texting my big brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people be the ones to feed you these lies, man. Everything that's being said can be proven. We're not in a space of trying to convert. Like I'm not trying to make you guys come into my belief and my understanding. Nor am I trying to turn you to an atheist. That's not what I'm here to do. What I'm here to do is make you deconstruct from this ideology. And whatever path you take outside of this ideology, if it's gonna better you, your family, your loved ones, go by all means do that. But for me, for all my melanated people, I just want you guys to start practicing and following the things you was doing before they invaded your space. I don't care if you are the indigenous people from here in America. We're not here to dispute that. And this is a new doctrine that's coming around to cause another level of division. My nigga, whether you was brought here or not, the moral is you was enslaved. The moral is you was violated. The moral is your space was invaded. That's it. We're not here to go up against what people believe, what they see, what they like. That's mad childish, bro. We ain't in no position for that, bro. We ain't got no room for any more division. We need some level of communication. We need to reason somewhere. See, I'm trying to reason and meet everybody in the middle. The moral of the fact is, bro, you was kidnapped. It's either you was kidnapped or you was colonized. Either or, we here. Either or, there's a machine that is violating us, taking advantage of us, our children, our women, our elderly. This is facts, guys. This is not me saying nothing but the shit that you guys see and the shit that you guys are afraid to speak about. So if we see that this is going on, can we have a conversation, please? Can we sit down? Can we at least agree it's time to restore order? Can we put away all the toxic shit that's been destroying us? One of it being and all. Let's put an end to that. Let's put an end to it. Let's start looking ourselves in the mirror. Let's start holding ourselves accountable. Let's start being honest with each other. First with self and then with everybody else. Let's start doing all of that, bro. Let's put an end to all of that. It is time. Some of you guys is medically situated right now as we speak. You on borrowed time. What are you leaving for your children? What examples? Are you going to continue this matrix ideology? Or are you going to break out of it and set new standards, new roles, new directions, new philosophies? If all you Hebrew Israelites took the time out to learn something black, I guarantee you guys will be more prosperous than you guys are now. I guarantee if you Christians was to stop kumbaya and start holding each other accountable, start holding the community accountable, stop leaving it in God's hands. Oh, I'm leaving it in his God's hand. Oh, I'm protected by the blood. If you stop holding yourself, if you start holding yourself accountable, a lot of shit would change, bro. We need change. We need structure. We need order. I beg you. Don't be these weirdos that's on this internet that's trying to cause controversy, trying to throw out, try to throw the knowledge to make everybody be in a state of division where it's like, yeah, that's right. We ain't trying to hear that. So what you want to hear? You want to hear Sexy Red? You want to hear the mumble rap? You want to hear gangster? You want to hear gangster foolish stories? Niggas is on this internet telling on each other, talking about things. All of a sudden, your man that you grew up with was never a real nigga. So then, what does that make you? You not real then because you was around that, right? Misery loves company. You are who you hang with. So that means you wasn't real neither. Like, yo, come on. I'm tired. You see the hat? You see the hat? This is a symbol, bro. We putting an end to the establishment, bro. But I can't do it by myself. It's not about me being black, and it's not we beyond that, bro. If you still on that ideology, bro, you still part of the confusion. You got to go on the other side, bro. Because guess what? A lot of these children that's being born now being born with both those things in their DNA. Compromise, but it is what it is. What we gonna do? We can't just throw them out. We can't just throw them out into the wayside. We gotta accept it for what it is, and we gotta adjust. We gotta make change. We gotta make corrections. We gotta start holding ourselves accountable. We gotta govern our community. How the heck is ICE coming into your space, violating everybody? Where's the community? Where's the Crips? Community restoration in progress. Where you at? Where my blood's at? Where all you so-called tough guys, all these gangsters, all this tough talk, all this spit in the block, all this I wish a nigga would. Where's all of that at? Where they here? Y'all niggas ain't doing nothing because you've been programmed to do nothing. You've been programmed to hate self, hate anybody that looks like you, talk like you, walk like you, but you was also taught to be fearful of those that put shackles around your neck. So when I see you come on here talking this crazy, oh you this, oh you man, shut the F up, man. You just a bitch made nigga. Soft. You don't got no backbone, you stand on nothing. You bend over. You that's what we call them. We call them bend overs. That's what y'all are. You just bend overs. Y'all not real. You think you real because you tough. You talking tough to me. The people that you need to talk tough to, you ain't doing that. In fact, you pull your phone out and record, looking for a lawsuit, bitch ass nigga. Is there any more? Is there any questions? Get yourself this book. If you guys want me to give you a breakdown if you guys want me to give you a breakdown of Paul, I could definitely do that. All you got to do is say, yo, Jones, we need that. I got you. I got you. Give you a whole breakdown. I'll take my time. Give me at least 2 weeks. Take my time. Give you a nice presentation. Show you without a shadow of a doubt that Paul was the first pope. He is not a disciple. He is not a follower nor a believer of Jesus Christ. Absolutely not. Okay? I can show you in the Bible where Jesus calls himself the devil. He tells you he's Lucifer. I know. But at the end of the day, guys, we got a lot of cleaning up to do, bro. And this is facts. And the first phase is denouncing all of this Abrahamic religion. How would you want to keep holding on something that we all know historically violated? Violated my mom, violated your pop, violated your grandmother, your great grandmother. Your entire bloodline has been violated by this ideology. How you still holding on to that? How you still honestly believe that a second coming? Who told you that? Who told you that there was such thing as a rapture? I forgot the names of the guys who came up with this rapture story. You can't even find the word rapture in the Bible one time. Who giving you this ideology? These same people that's giving the ideology is the same people that's giving you the story of Hebrews. I had a sister, and this is no disrespect to the sister. And if you watching, sis, you know it's nothing but love. But I had a sister tell me that, the scriptures is our writings, is our works. And I said, how do you know that? Because I seen it. Well, if you seen it, how did you know that's your language? Who's speaking that language? Because I know damn sure it ain't no melanated people. Melanated people ain't speaking this language. So where did you get this understanding from? Oh, okay. So the people that you're claiming to be the devil, the enemy, the imposters, are literally the ones you're relying on for resources that you supposedly believe connects back to you. Yeah. So if they wrote that David was sucking Wiblos and they put it in stone, would you start sucking Wiblos? I'm literally asking a serious question. Because if you was to see that off the top of your head, you'd be like, hold on, this ain't right. But because it's written in stone, you're gonna think like, yeah, it's not right, but I guess this is what God wants us to do, and you're gonna start doing it, right? Yeah. That's what I be saying. But that's all, guys. Look, I even forgot to put on my chain, man. That's all, guys. I got my other chain on, though. You know what I'm saying? I got my other chain. But the next time I'll put my chain on, man. That's all I got for you guys. I'm gonna finish drinking this wine. I'm gonna drink some more wine. I'm gonna enjoy this Saturday. Join my Facebook group. Join the Instagram. If you follow me on IG, if you on IG and you's watching this, shout out to you. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Rumble. Like, comment, share. Watch this video 15 times again on YouTube. Put it on the algorithm. Let this shit go out to the world. Send this to your local Hebrew Israelite. Send it to your local Christianite. Send it to your local Judahite. Send it to them. And anytime, and when they got something to say, just let them know we got the documentations. Prove your documentations. See, I'm not claiming to be something genetically, because if I claim to be something genetically, I will have to provide genetic information to prove such claims. But if I tell you that we had no understanding of Christianity, and that the slave owner, who's by the name of William Charles C. Jones, if he, a slave owner, said that this is what he was doing, I think I'm gonna listen to that before I listen to somebody who's claiming to be something through genetics with no genetical information. So like, comment, share, subscribe, like this video, hype this video. You know what I'm saying? Play this video, and we outside, man. It's your brother, man. You understand? And I'ma holler at y'all. One. Look, my joint don't wanna turn off, bro. What the heck is going on here?